You are my bitch. You are my bitch.
Welcome back to the Pimp Daddy podcast. You know, Sheri. Go ahead, Sheri. Say your name and smile real big for the people.
My name is Sheri Ciprane, and I'm going sleeveless for this episode because we have my boy...
Maran. Everyone give it up for Matt Maran. Oh my god, you make me so horny, Matt, you make me horny.
Big booty hoes, big booty hoes.
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man. We love you. Always clicked off with you, man. You're a funny guy.
Thank you.
Funny guy. He runs the Comedy Fight Club Roast Battle.
Yep.
Going strong.
Yep. Brad just did one a couple weeks ago against
Funny as hell.
Rachel.
Dude, I don't want to talk shit about Rachel on
No, we love
the
Rachel.
podcast. We do love Rachel.
We love Rachel, so you can talk shit
Me and
about
Rachel
her.
are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did something happen with the roast?
Yeah.
Oh.
She slashed the tires of my Razor scooter. Just gone that night. Couldn't get home.
Wait, for real?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't have a Razor scooter. You think I got Razor scooter money? No.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I did do the show. I love your show. You do.
Thank
I really
you.
like the new location a lot.
Yes.
I think, nothing wrong with where I did it the time before.
But
But I just...
we'll agree to disagree, but
Oh,
maybe not talk about that on air.
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything. I didn't. I'm just saying this other place is like a basement and like a
Yes.
bar
Yeah.
in the Lower East Side, and it feels like a place like
You can
that show
find
should
it.
be
You,
at.
you
yeah.
can find it on Google.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Well, you
can
want
find
people to
her.
come to the show.
Yeah.
What is it with all this podcast stuff? Oh, we want to go on a podcast, and then we don't want to talk about stuff. Like we're going
Yeah.
to talk about stuff. I'm not talking shit about no one. I'm just
Yeah.
saying the new spot is
yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yes.
And I like the new spot a lot.
Yeah. Thank
It's
you.
fun to do shows down there.
Yeah, it was our old spot. It was one
okay.
of the first venues we were at Lovecraft Bar, which closed down, and then we were at Lucky Jack's, which is where we're back at now. And that was kind of where the show built up.
I
All of
see.
it's like
So it's like
Kind
kind
of
of an
this-
old baseball glove.
a little bit. It's like the style of the show kind of built there. So going back now, we just have more years of doing the show, but the entire vibe of the show was built kind of for that room because
I see.
that's where it started.
That makes
So
sense.
It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
I always watch, I try to watch the YouTube that you put out, and I
Yeah.
watch all the clips. You, by far, are one of the funniest.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Like, your roasts are
Yeah.
fucking... How do you come up with that shit, man? Like, is it on the
Yeah.
fly, or is it before?
Some of it's on the fly, some of
Yeah.
it's before.
Yeah.
When I'm doing the introductions, I bring everybody up on the show with the
Right.
joke. I'll write those. And I remember when we first started doing the show, I'm like, I'm going to write an introduction
Yeah.
joke for everyone to keep me, even though I'm hosting and producing a show, I still want to be a comic and
Yeah.
be writing and telling jokes on the
Exactly,
show.
exactly.
And so I would spend all week writing these jokes.
Nice.
And then I would just do it long. And now it's an hour before the show and I have no jokes yet. And I'm it feels like studying for school
Yeah.
again. Cramming at the last second, writing them all out. But then in the moment, things will happen and I'll riff on
Right.
what's happening. Sometimes I'll have a joke for the individual. They'll both get up there and I'll see them together and think of what they look
Yes,
like
that's
together.
the funniest part
yeah.
to me, yeah.
And then I'll come up with
funny.
something on the spot.
Right.
But yeah, I've just been doing it long enough that
Just flexing that muscle.
you
Get
get
your
it.
shots in the gym so you're ready
Speaking
to
of
perform.
muscles, he's a real man. That was my
Thank
first
you.
thought when I met you. I was
Yep.
you remind me of one of my boys from back home. Just
Yeah.
like a solid alpha, real dude. You know?
I mean, in the comedy world for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I
I grew up playing sports and around
Right,
athletes. So what I
exactly.
always compare myself to is
Right,
I'm
exactly.
still the Jewish kid with asthma, who was had to be the funny guy on the team because I wasn't as athletic as everybody else.
Well, yeah, in comedy,
I'm a
you're-
super athlete.
Exactly.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Killer of the Jewish rec league basketball team.
Oh yeah, I was on a Jewish basketball team.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was fun. It
A lot
was
of black people.
no. Yeah, it was me and all the original Jews.
There you go.
Because I played, basketball wasn't, my main sport was baseball and then martial arts and wrestling. And I tried every sport. Basketball, I just grew up in Queens, so we just played basketball.
That's where you're
in
from? You're
school.
from Queens?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Why
Which
did I
part?
think he was from the Midwest or something?
Because he's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Because I look like this.
No, it's your accent.
Yeah.
Is that from, what is that?
I don't know. I've been told a whole bunch of different things, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought like Midwest, like I don't know, like Indiana,
Queens
Montana.
has like literally
You're from Bayside,
every.
or-
Yep, Bayside. Yeah,
I
Yep,
knew it.
You got
I
it.
could tell. Now that I can tell Bayside.
What's the vibe out in Bayside?
City
It's,
Field, Shea Stadium.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's there. Okay,
It's
I
like
got
the
you.
town right next door to that. It's kind of there's a little bit of everything. There's like on Bell Boulevard, all the bars can get a little like broy, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
there's
Some Italians, right? A lot of Italians
Italian,
out there.
Irish,
yeah.
and but then like Corona's right there, which is all Hispanic.
Yeah, right.
The 7 train is like Epcot.
Oh yeah, it
every
really
stop,
is.
every stop is like
East
a different
Elmhurst,
nationality.
Jackson Heights, yeah.
There's like a Filipino area,
Chinese,
a Pakistani
yeah,
area.
mhm.
Like I grew up knowing stereotypes about the different types of Spanish and Asian.
Oh,
Like it
yeah.
wasn't just Asian people. I knew
Oh,
like
no, yeah.
there was the stereotypes of
Oh,
the
yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
and Japanese hate each other. I knew like
that's probably
yeah.
why you're a good roast guy, because like you are not just kind of racist. You know the racist jokes for everyone.
Exactly,
And also-
yeah.
See, now it
Yes.
makes sense that he grew
That's-
up in Bayside.
it makes-
all makes
Oh yeah,
sense
the
now.
roast that
Yeah,
week.
it all
My
makes
friends,
sense
we all
now.
grew up
Okay.
making fun of each
As
other.
you should,
I
yeah.
had Jewish jokes made about me,
Yeah.
and I would become friends with people if I made Indian jokes about them,
Right,
and then we were
right.
buddies.
And that's how it should be, and that's how it always has been. Everyone's fucking soft nowadays. You can't make these young kids. They don't make
Yeah,
fun of each
You're
other.
I
telling
think-
me I got to take a blue chew. I mean, what?
Represent us, sponsor
Yes.
us, Boo-hoo. I need it for sure.
I think
Also,
so-
Prozac,
yeah.
fuck you.
I think some of these
Oh,
people just grew up around. I remember talking to someone who, like, they were from Connecticut, and they grew up hearing the same racial jokes I did, but
Okay.
they were just street jokes, but they were said by only white people amongst white people,
Right.
hoping black people
Right.
wouldn't hear it. Whereas
Yeah.
I grew up saying those jokes
Right to
with
their
my
face.
black
Yeah,
friends.
same.
They were the ones who would tell me that.
Right,
Like,
right. And
So
if
I
you-
think
yep.
some people can just hear the same joke, and because of their experience, it doesn't necessarily register.
That's what I'm
the
learning
same way.
in comedy. That's
So
what
it's
I'm
not
learning. Yeah.
some people are soft, but sometimes I think it's just different experiences.
Cultural differences.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true.
But I think with Fight Club, I kind of set it up that everyone kind of, and me being the host and being the guy,
You
you
know
like,
what you're walking into.
and I say those types of jokes, and I don't think anybody ever thinks I actually mean them.
no.
Yeah?
No,
Well,
it's the
that's-
way you deliver it,
I mean,
too.
it's that's the best part. Is that is really how like you create friendships with people, is like creating experiences, and your shows
Yeah.
are like a unique experience every time, because it's only going to happen with that group of people in that space. You
Thank
know?
you. I
Right.
appreciate
And
that.
no, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. It's just like, and it forces everyone to not just do their set, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone wants to go. Comics hang out at it just because it's a good time.
Yeah.
You know? So I love the work you're doing. You are
Thank
a great
you.
writer and a great comedian in
Thank
your
you.
own right. And if you ever like want to touch tips,
I'll just say you are stroking this month.
I like
We
them.
are having a stroke fest. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, he's right. I agree with everything he said.
Yeah, and it is also, I think, in stand-up, a lot of times there's, like, always a thought of, like, is this kind of too weird to do? Is this too far?
Right,
And I
right.
love it, because my thing with roasts is whenever everyone's like, you can say anything in a roast, it doesn't just mean, like, offensive jokes. It's like, you can be fucking weird.
Right?
I loved, when I grew up watching
Right.
Comedy Central,
Yeah.
my style is more,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
written and, like, the Greg
Right.
Giraldo type, but
Right.
when I grew up watching Comedy Central, fucking, like, Bill Hader came out dressed as the president of Hollywood, like,
Right.
Yeah.
Gilbert
Right.
Gottfried came out with like an interpret as
Oh,
the
I love
interpreter
him. Yeah.
from the deaf Marley Matlin. I
Right.
think like there's all this like weird, crazy, wild stuff you can
Doesn't
do.
have to be mean and offensive.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just it's
Yeah.
like I feel like it's like the ultimate creativity,
Right.
Because
Right.
there's no boundaries, not just as far as like content, but as
Yeah.
far as just anything.
What I like, it's like
There you have it.
the
Matt
stuff that
Maron,
you
prop
say.
comic.
No, it's true. It's a prop comic. No, but it's like the stuff you say. It's like it's right there in front of your face. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah,
It's right there.
Yeah.
But it's harder than you think.
Yeah.
You know, it's harder than you think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, you dating anyone?
kind
How's your
of.
dating life?
Seeing someone, but it's
Oh,
still
yeah?
still fairly new.
Your
Okay,
dick
that's a
wet?
good
Yeah.
point. We should talk about OJ Simpson instead.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, OJ.
That's how uncomfortable I am talking about dating. I'd rather talk about OJ Simpson.
I got you out of that.
Thank
dude.
you.
Rest in peace, OJ.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Sheri, you probably have thoughts on OJ. You guys used to hang out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I fucked his stepdaughter a few times.
No, you're lying.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn.
I think you were saying she looks like Kato Kalin.
Oh.
Yeah,
I loved you on Celebrity Big Brother.
he was hot too, kind of like a Walmart Fabio.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
are gay.
Like a
You like
Walmart
Kato
faggot.
Kaelin.
Yeah.
You're like, I like women, but I would go for Kato Kaelin.
Yeah.
For sure. A little
That's
bit.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Looks like you for sure.
Yeah, let's talk about all of OJ's great accomplishments. 2,000 yards in a season, in a 14-game season. First guy to ever do it.
Okay.
Heisman Trophy, USC.
Murder.
Allegedly.
I don't think he did it. I don't know. Just saying.
He was also he was in Soul Plane, right?
Yeah.
I love
was in
that
Naked-
movie.
he was in
I
Naked
love that
Gun.
movie.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I love that.
Naked Gun. He was also like a commentator. I don't think you're a little older than me, but like for me, it's like
Got your
OJ's
ass.
always been the murderer.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
anyone older than me, like he was like Shaquille O'Neal. He was just like
No, he was the
everywhere.
shit. Yeah,
He was everywhere. He was in movies. He's
He
like
was.
broadcast, announcing
But
games.
it's crazy. People know Shaq as not as a basketball player, but as a DJ. Like legitimately in other countries, like
Yeah.
younger kids, they know him
Oh,
as
yeah,
Diesel.
he
DJ
did do
Diesel.
that.
He plays, like, big
I
festivals.
know him as Kazam.
I know. I feel that. But also, he was a rapping genie then, so there is a through line.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And his sneakers all over the world too. He's like
Shaq sneakers.
Yeah,
Those are the only basketball shoes I
Yeah.
was able to get as a kid.
Oh, I feel
Because
that.
I had
Oh,
Jewish
man.
parents.
Yeah.
they're like we're buying
Jordans
this
weren't
thing.
happening.
No,
but the
no.
year Shaq got traded from the
He was
Lakers
like
to the
this.
Heat.
It was like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're holding on to the
Yeah,
back,
his whole
holding
thing,
on to
yeah,
the rim.
yeah.
But the year he got traded from the Lakers to the Heat, he switched from number 34 to 32.
32.
Yeah,
32
So-
to 34.
32 to 34.
Because
Yes.
34 was the OG number, but you can't wear Magic's number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
Good job,
32, the old sneakers with the old number were on clearance. So my Jewish parents were like, we'll get you Shaq shoes now. I didn't care they had the old
They were
number.
probably just as quality as Jordan too.
Who knows? Yeah, probably. I don't
No,
know.
the
That's that
the
Jew
kids
shit,
are
man.
more nimble in the
Yeah.
ones that make the Jordans.
I was never a sneakerhead because like my parents
I
were
know you
never
wear. What
gonna-
you wearing right now? Fila's.
Fila's on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The Tony Soprano.
I just need something that I can
Fila's.
like go to the gym in and walk around the city in.
Italian.
Yeah.
I like Fila.
You got to dress for comfort in New York City. I'll tell you what,
Yep.
on some level.
Unless you're a hot girl and you want to wear stilettos, then do it.
Yeah.
Fuck comfort.
You like the girls
know?
you like girls in heels?
Hell yeah.
It's never
baby.
it never
Hell
mattered to
yeah.
me.
No, I love girls in heels.
I like when the girls they do this thing.
With their ass.
They put it in my face.
Touch it a little.
And they go, poof.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I
Hotter
like.
the girl, they don't fart.
Yeah.
Hot girls don't fart anyway. So.
Oh, that's actually one of my favorite things to do is to get a girl to admit she farted. Nothing
Yeah.
better than that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a good time. It's a good time for everyone. It brings them down a level, you know. It kind of evens the playing field, and
Yeah.
They're safe with you.
and then it lets them know that you're maybe a little bit of a pervert. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once the girl I'm seeing now
Right.
farts in front of me, I'll start talking about it with people. We haven't. I farted in front of her, but she hasn't farted in front of
well,
me.
you're a guy. That's more. It's
Yeah.
like more allowed.
Yeah. She hasn't farted in front of me yet, so I feel like it's inappropriate to talk about her on a podcast.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too soon.
Oh no. You said I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I didn't want to interrupt me.
Oh no. What's this scarf from?
Broken arm. Broken arm.
That is a badass
Wait, is that
scar,
from
man.
Geelong?
Yep. Steel plate.
Yes.
Arm
okay.
wrestling.
So
All
wait,
right.
wait,
this is
wait.
this is a story we need actually.
Broken
okay?
arm. I'm thinking car accident. I'm thinking,
Nope.
you know, sports accident.
Jerking off.
Johnny with the jacking off with the jacket.
That's Johnny on the J, giving us a Johnny with the jerking off real quick. We'll be
Yeah.
right back.
That's the weatherman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice arms, you know.
No, he
Thank
does.
you.
He does. He works out.
Yeah, I was losing at a bad angle, losing an arm wrestling match, and did not want to give up. And
What?
so
That's how that scar became
At a comedy
from
show,
on stage,
live on stage. You know,
The guy broke your
you know,
arm?
you know him.
Jelon Turner.
You know him, dude.
man.
Oh, the black guy?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
He snapped his arm off, dude.
he just put like all of his weight on.
He didn't do
and
it
I was
right.
at a bad
He didn't
angle.
do it right.
Bro, you
I
didn't-
think he did it so right.
No, not if you gave him that.
He did it too. Yeah.
So I was being
Oh, God.
pulled
Oh.
down and away. And started fighting back up, and hear a loud snap. I thought someone threw a bottle against the wall, because it was just a loud bang, and I looked up, and then looked down and saw my arm completely broken.
Wow.
Is that on video anywhere?
Yeah.
I want to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that.
It was
Insert that
Halloween. It
clip
was
right now.
Halloween weekend, 2022. So it was a Halloween show,
God.
and I was dressed as Cobra Kai.
That makes it even worse,
It
bro.
does.
You know-
And everyone else is in costume too. So I've got like Batman getting me ice, and then like
no, just a
all
whole
these people in
fucking-
costume. Like, let me
Yeah.
call an ambulance
whole
for you.
cosplay.
That was the
Everyone.
first time I ever heard about you. Was that
Yeah.
you were the guy who got his arm broke? Actually.
Yeah.
I never heard that story.
At the
That's
heckle
amazing.
mic, right?
Yep. I was the special guest. And 6 months earlier, I was the special guest, and Jalon challenged me to arm wrestle, and I beat him easily. And I guess he had been training
Oh,
or
Jesus.
something.
What do you do? Hop up on the table?
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
just
saying.
fucking
Yeah, you
break
start
your fucking
stomping
arm?
his Timbs on you. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was just a bad angle, and he got in front of it
Yeah.
enough that like all of his weight
Yeah.
was on it, and
Oh!
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
that's hard to listen to.
yeah, it's a loud snap.
Cool.
Yep.
Let's talk about your brain surgery.
I had brain surgery too.
Speaking of that,
Only 2 surgeries though.
Oh, okay.
Every time I mention these 2 people, like you get hurt all the time. Like only 2 surgeries.
Yeah,
If
my
they're pretty
brain's broken
badass.
and my arm doesn't work. You
Yeah.
know, that's okay.
And those are actually probably the 2. Because I had a lot of injuries, like growing up from playing sports, and I was wrestling and all, and those felt like they were like longer lasting. That's like knee and
no,
back
that's
issues
some
and
serious.
stuff.
Yeah,
Shit that hurts to walk.
Yeah, not as much now because it's been like years.
Yeah.
Although who knows? It's one of those things. Like I had a
It'll pop
doctor
up on you.
when I was like 21. I had a doctor tell me I'll need knee replacements in my 40s
Oh,
because I have like
congrats, dude.
cartilage damage
Wow,
and
yeah.
stuff.
That's
But
fun.
it doesn't really bother me. I don't know if that means I've gotten used to it,
or you've just maintained your healthy.
Yeah, or maybe
you
it's
work out.
Yeah, I know. I had an X-ray done on my back when I was like 21, and it was like there were gray splotches all over my spine. Like all over the vertebrae, and they told me the gray is all that's good. The white is bone degeneration.
Ooh.
This is the most Jewish this podcast has ever gotten.
My
Just
Jew
sitting
pods don't work.
He's
Yeah.
like giving us his entire bill of health. No,
My
I'm sorry,
Jew
man.
pods
That's
don't work.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't really affect me. I lift weights. I work out. I don't.
Right.
I don't lift like super heavy because I never. My thing was if I ever got hurt in the gym. To me, that's like I go to the gym to be
Maintain.
healthier.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like the
right.
idea of like,
Yeah.
oh, I tried to lift so much I got myself hurt is
Right.
like just
That's
don't
stupid.
just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
do that.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Also, when
smart
I
about
started
it.
lifting weights, I was with these fucking like monster wrestlers on steroids who were way bigger than me. I never
But you
felt,
wrestle though, right?
yeah,
You
I never
wrestle,
felt
yeah.
competitive with them, so it was never like let me try and lift more than them. It was like let
Right.
me just try and get it stronger
Exactly.
and healthier.
Exactly.
But the brain surgery was just something I was born with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You were born with it?
Yeah, it was called an arteriovenous malformation or a cerebral cavernoma. I saw a few different names for it. It's basically a malformation of blood vessels.
Okay.
And just when my brain was formed, it's like less than 1% of people have it. Your blood vessels
Less than
tangle.
1%, and you got it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And most people, they said it's usually found in either autopsies or children.
Oh wow.
You get it when
Oh,
you're young,
wow.
or it's one of those things that like someone has an aneurysm in their early 20s and just
Yeah.
gets them.
You are the
Damn.
ultimate dead baby joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is. It feels cheesy to talk about, but it is all the
No,
like
that's
medical
pretty-
miracle
that is
stuff. They
exactly,
like
yeah, exactly.
they estimated it bled over 100 times. I like looked it up online after because I'm like they're probably trying to make this sound more serious than it was to be like we saved your life.
No, that's
Um,
legit.
But
That
I looked it up. It was like
sounds-
they estimated
No,
it bled
actually.
over. Yeah, it bled
Yeah.
over 100 times, and like every time something like that bleeds, like 15% chance of death.
Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
And yeah, they got a picture of it that they said I wanted to keep
I saw
it.
that. I saw that photo.
Yeah,
you
I
posted.
I posted it.
It was
yeah.
like a big old knot looking
Like
thing.
size
yeah.
of a golf ball.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
all just
yeah.
tangled blood vessels. It was
Ooh.
just building since I was a kid,
Damn, bro.
since I was born. And
Damn.
yeah, and I was having like mood swings, anxiety, impulsive, like all
You couldn't
the
figure out what it was, and then there it is.
yeah.
That's
Well, there was
why.
like a month or so where I was just like I was dealing with personal shit also.
right.
So
right.
if I was like angry or sad, it felt like all right, I'm reacting to the shit that's going on in my life.
Yeah.
But it was
and after
10
like
times worse.
yeah, and after like 2 months straight of like being sad or upset
Something's
every
wrong.
day,
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, originally went to a concussion management clinic because I had concussions from when I grew up playing
Right.
sports, and I start going through these treatments that are curing the symptoms,
yeah.
but then I get an MRI as like a second precautionary
To
thing,
make sure, yeah.
and from the MRI, they're just like, go straight to the ER.
Jesus Christ.
They just saw this giant thing in my brain, and they're like,
Yo, you got a golf
yeah.
ball.
I mean,
on your fucking
and at that point, they
brain,
didn't know if it was like cancerous or what. They had no
it's
idea
just
what
like,
it was.
Get out of here. You can't deal with this shit. Go right there.
Yeah, and what I ended up having, the malformation of blood vessels, is best case scenario if they catch it in time, because
Right.
then it's out, and I've never had cancer, so it's not like I can have, like, I'm not in
Relapse
remission or anything.
Right.
But that thing is more likely to kill you with the bleeding than a tumor would be
100%,
up
yeah.
to that point. So once they found it, it was like all good. But I was in like ICU all weekend, feeling fine. And just they're all like hiding it from me because they don't want to tell me how dangerous it is. They don't want to like
this
scare
boy
me.
gonna die, bro.
Yeah, but that's like they're giving me like tests of like I couldn't sleep because every hour they would have to wake me up to give me neuro tests to make sure my brain's still functioning.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, if they have to do this every hour to make sure my brain's still functioning, I'm probably not doing so great.
No, that doesn't sound good.
I'm probably
bro.
high risk right now if I'm in the intensive care unit and every hour they got to ask me my name and what the day is and everything.
That's wild. So
Yeah.
Jesus saved you.
I'm now with you for Jesus.
And how crazy is that you had that and you were wrestling too, right? Like
Yeah, so I had been.
undiagnosed at the
I mean,
time.
yeah, growing up playing sport, I was always kind of uncoordinated,
CTE or whatever it
unathletic. I'm always fucking, if I never had this, maybe I would have been more athletic.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is. But you're already athletic. If you're saying if you didn't have it, you would have been 10 times more.
Yeah, no, I was never, like, very
You're a
naturally
wrestler,
athletic.
though. That's athletic. If you
I
can do
mean,
shit like
compared
that.
to someone who's like not in athletics at all, but amongst other athletes,
Oh, I
I
get
was
you,
never,
yeah.
I was never very athletic naturally.
I got you.
Even in wrestling, it's a lot more like
You
training.
love sports. There's
Yes.
a difference. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, it's like a lot of like training, technique, grit,
Right.
and like wrestling
Learn
more
how
so.
to do it.
Yeah, more so than other sports. Like basketball, if you
You
don't
were
have a
showing me at the
vertical-
bar one time where like you stomped your foot real loud and you came at me.
Oh,
and
the
whatever.
pro wrestling?
I
Yeah,
was
some
like,
of that stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that if I trained to do that, you
Yeah.
know, for a week straight, I could probably figure out that move.
Yeah,
You
but with
know?
but even with amateur wrestling, it's like a lot of it is like willpower. Like
Right.
basketball, if you don't have a vertical, you're kind of fucked.
Right,
And you
right,
can only
right.
train your vertical
Yeah.
so much. There were certain things like I wasn't always like quick on my feet. Like footwork was always like something I had to really drill down and train. Even I coach youth sports now
Oh,
sometimes,
yeah.
and you'll see certain kids where they just like pick things up.
Oh, yeah.
immediately.
Absolutely.
And that was never me.
Okay.
You seem
So,
like a
yeah.
you seem like a guy who would like to mow a lawn.
Lawn? Oh, you got a lawn you were mowing out there in Bayside?
No, we lived in an apartment.
Just-
Co-op, yeah.
But I bet you'd like it.
Maybe. It seems
Have
relaxing.
you ever mowed a lawn
Yeah.
before?
I haven't.
Oh,
dude,
wow. You look
yeah.
like you definitely mowed a lot of lawns.
That's what we should
Yeah.
start. We should start a company or a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Let's make it a
Nonprofit.
nonprofit. You make more money
NGO.
that way. But you start a nonprofit and we send people that grew up in the city out to farms and they get
Yeah.
to mow the lawn.
Dude, I would, in
They just
general,
watch you like hot old
yeah.
widows.
I know you're a
They
big
just-
Yellowstone person. I
I love
love
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Anything that, because I lived in New York my whole life.
I've lived in, yeah.
So it's always
Not
like
rural, yeah.
Yellowstone. I was watching these like shows on Hulu that were like on History Channel. They're on Hulu now, like American Farm.
Oh, yeah, I love
It's
all
like,
that stuff.
yeah, all that stuff is like it's out of my world. It's also why I like
But I'm
country
like, one day
music.
I love country music.
Because
too,
it's
you
like
know?
it's exotic to me. They're singing about like tractors and stuff.
Yeah.
I grew
It's
up
a
in
dream.
New York. Yeah,
It's a dream to me. That's why she just blew my whole dream the other girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, whenever everyone
No.
everyone else in the country, they think about the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
and I'm
but
like,
it's
I've
like-
seen that shit. I walk
no.
past Rockefeller Center all
Yeah,
the time.
That's why you
I wanna,
think he's from the Midwest. He's cosplaying as a guy.
Yeah.
from the
I think
Midwest.
that.
Yeah.
But he is wearing it. He always wears like a Yankees hat or.
I mean, yeah, I got
Just
New
like people
York,
from
yeah.
the Midwest, actually.
Right, that's
Oh,
what I
that's
thought.
true,
But
yeah.
he's
It's
legit
funny.
about it, so
Yeah.
that's actually okay.
I remember when I first moved to New York, I was like, I'm gonna wear this Yankees hat for like 2 months straight.
Yeah,
It was a good hat.
to try to fit in.
No, it was an exciting time. I think a lot of people moved to New York,
Yeah,
and it's like something they've wanted to do for a long time.
yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's like a dream realized.
And
in a
I always,
sense.
and I always had the opposite of like I
Right,
always
you're like, let me
fantasized
get
about
the
living in a
fuck out.
cabin in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere in the mountains.
your dream
I
school was
fantasize
Iowa
about
State.
that.
Yeah.
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 I
Actually,
do. I do.
my first, because I originally went to school for journalism because I wanted to be I was wrestling and I thought if I can't make it in athletics somehow I can write about sports and be a sports
I could see
writer.
that I could see you doing that.
Um,
Do you have to
See,
read
no.
when you write?
I sound them out. I
Okay,
sound the
I
words
gotcha.
out. Yeah. But so originally I was like looking. I always wanted to be out of New York. I was looking like University of Georgia. I'm like they had the #1 football team, and I was like, let me go somewhere that has a good sports program.
Hot chicken.
And I saw what out-of-state tuition was, and
Oh,
my
no.
family was
Oh,
not.
yeah.
My family was not in that
No, if
class.
they're buying you Shaq shoes.
Yeah.
They're like,
So
getting
Oh,
Shaq
yeah.
shoes and going to LaGuardia Community.
Yeah.
No, I got to
CUNY.
SUNY. I got SUNY.
CUNY.
I went to
Okay.
SUNY Stony Brook.
Nice.
Hey, that's a good college, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, like the year after I got in, the standards would raise, and I wouldn't have
Okay.
been able to get in the next year. It was
Right.
mostly like pre-med kids.
Yeah.
You got grandfathered into a community college?
Yeah, no, it's
No,
it's a
not.
4-year
It's
school.
a university.
Oh, it's a.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Stony
schools
Brook,
out here.
Yeah, it's out in Long Island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's like the year I got in, I qualified, but every year the standards would get raised.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, like the incoming freshman class, the next year I would have had to go to like SUNY New Paltz or somewhere,
Okay.
one of the other SUNYs.
yeah.
But yeah, I did like 2 years of journalism and quickly realized I didn't want to be. I used to just watch guys on ESPN talk about sports
Yeah,
and be like,
around the
the guys
horn.
on
I
the
can do
around,
that.
Yeah.
the guys
I
on
can do
around the
that.
horn
I
or
can
sport.
do
I could
that,
be
yeah.
Woody Page or Jay
I
Mariotti.
still
like,
think you could be.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I definitely think you could do that.
What is
yeah.
your first sport love then? Like,
Baseball?
Baseball.
Yep, my dad was a huge Yankees fan. Grew up like
So
before
Babe
the Mets
Ruth?
existed. Not that old. My dad's old, but he was like Mickey Mantle old.
Okay, Mickey Mantle's
Yeah.
a legend
Oh,
too.
gotcha.
Jackie
Mickey Mantle.
Robinson.
We don't really like him.
You know, like the Dodgers. Dodgers.
Yeah, and the whole, you know,
Brooklyn Dodgers.
you know,
Yankees,
ruining
yeah.
the game.
Right. Right. Right.
Right after this, reruns of Home Improvement.
There you go. But
What
yeah,
else, Sharon?
Yankees, and also I was like, I'm a '90s kid, so the
Same,
Yankees were
yeah.
like winning the World Series every
Oh
year.
yeah, every.
I
Who
can
was your
say-
favorite Yankee on that team?
Probably, I guess Derek Jeter.
I was gonna
Actually,
say
as a
Jeter.
kid, Tino Martinez was my guy.
Yeah.
I love Tino Martinez. Jeter's like almost the hack answer. It's
Right.
like I do love
Well,
Jeter.
I love Jeter too. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the reason I like the Yankees.
Yeah.
Not being from New York. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
Okay.
But, so we
That's
got
a fun team.
We got
Yeah.
Tino later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read Derek Jeter's book when I was a kid.
Me
and
too.
I was like, oh,
He has a book?
I believe in
Yeah.
myself. Yeah, it was definitely like pointed
Ghost
at like
written.
kids our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Because
You
you're
know
what,
who-
you're
yeah.
like 32, 33, something like that?
32, 33.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we're same age.
Yeah, but you know who actually was my favorite player growing up? This is interesting because, like, when I was like 12 is when we got the Yes Network came out.
Yeah,
so it was
all the
the
Yankees
Yankees stuff,
Network,
and
yeah.
they would play Yankees classics.
Oh, sure.
And during the day, I would just get home, and there would, before the game would be on, there'd be all these classic
And you
games. I
just
would
watch
watch
that.
it every day.
Yeah.
And I had just started playing catcher in Little League Baseball. So all these 70s games, and Thurman Munson was the catcher. And there was the Yankeeography on Thurman Munson and everything. Thurman Munson, I watched as many Thurman Munson games as like
One could.
90s, like games that were on at the time.
That's awesome.
So he was like, Thurman Munson was like my all-time favorite player, even though he died 20 years before. He died in a plane crash, like,
Oh.
he learned how to pilot his own plane so he could visit his family during
Was
the
that,
season.
That's gangster.
And then came up short of the runway and died.
Went out,
Damn.
went
Yeah.
out like
Damn.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that how she died
TLC,
too? Who
well,
else
she
died in a
was-
plane?
No,
There's a
Lisa-
few baseball players.
Lisa
Oh,
died
I
in
know.
a
Roberto
car.
Clemente.
Roberto
car.
Clemente, Corey Lytle,
Yeah. Okay.
Roy Halladay. Halladay's was awesome.
Oh, I forgot about
He was like
that.
hopped up on
Halliday.
amphetamines
Halliday's
doing
crazy.
like
Yeah.
fucking plane tricks in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, you got to go out doing what you
Thurman
love.
Munson was
That's
like visiting his family. Gay.
Right, yeah. We're doing tricks all coked out.
Yeah.
Man. That's no fucking fun.
Yeah.
Man. That's no fun at all.
Well, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So what,
Yeah.
you do Comedy Fight Club every Sunday?
Comedy Fight Club every
You
Sunday.
do your road gigs?
Do road gigs when I can.
Yeah, you're
stuff in the city. Buff Boys podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, make
yeah.
a muscle. Come on.
There you go.
Hell yeah! Look at that. I can just hang on it.
Joe is so
Hang
fucking
on
funny.
it.
You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
me
do
and
good
Joe
stuff.
Gorman.
Yeah, you guys are fun. He's a funny guy.
He's great.
You guys
I
are
love
both
him.
really funny.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's the real muscle of the podcast, to be honest.
I think you guys both handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, physically.
Oh.
He's like the real buff. He carries the buffness.
No comment on that. He looks like a
Yeah.
lesbian witch.
Yeah.
Damn.
But not in a bad way.
Insulting.
Yeah.
Like a
Not in
good
the
way.
room.
Yeah.
No,
I
in a
respect
roasting
it.
nice way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I understand.
You know, like you.
Yeah. Either of you guys have any, like, major injuries?
I mean,
I got my dick stuck in my locker.
Dick stuck in the locker?
Yeah, you ever done
Is that
that?
a real story?
No.
I don't know.
No, let's see. I broke my arm a couple years ago snowboarding. That was a bad weekend. That was a real bad weekend.
Damn. Oh, you're one of those whites. You
No,
go snowboarding.
it's because I'm not one of those whites, but I know.
Oh,
I
that
know,
makes sense.
I know whites like that. So
Yeah.
like, okay, so I have my like suburban white friends. I
Yeah.
have like my neighborhood friends from growing up. I have like my private school friends that in like a weird Christian background. I don't
Yeah.
really talk to them so much anymore. I have high school. I just did a lot of. I had a lot of different
Yeah.
lives.
I'm the same
I always
way.
say
I'm the
I
same
always say
way.
I was like middle class white, so I never like went hungry, but I've never been skiing. I'm like
Oh.
right
yeah,
in the
no,
middle there.
definitely. I went skiing one time and it didn't work out.
And I love like mountains and everything, but like the
I
idea
know,
of
I love
skiing,
mountains.
I had a friend get married in Colorado and like just being out in the middle of nowhere with the mountains looks awesome, but I've never wanted to go skiing or anything. Again, it's the like getting hurt thing. It's like
Bust your ass. Yeah.
the reward isn't worth the risk to me. What am
Right.
I going to get out of skiing that could be worth hurting myself?
Fair.
No.
But I did just recently I was at a suite in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was like through
Yeah.
a friend whose
Sure, don't tell him
bosses.
it was his Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, a friend whose all of his bosses are like super religious Jews, and they were doing Passover stuff, but they have a suite.
Nice.
Oh,
And so they
shit.
gave it to him, and he
Nice.
invited a few of his friends. And anytime it's very
Non-practicing Jewish privilege.
yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. It's
I love the Jews.
yeah. I'm doing my Passover Seder in a couple days. Probably have already happened by the time this comes
it's,
out.
do you think it's bad if I think
What?
if I think that Jewish people are really helpful and cool?
No.
Is that fucked up to say?
I mean, if you hate Palestine, it makes sense.
Okay.
Gaza.
I'll get in more trouble for that than either of you guys. I got a free trip to Israel and took it, and now I'm making jokes about it.
I don't really get the news channels anymore, so I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
Every American Jew, they do the birthright program. If you're like,
No, I know what that
yeah,
is.
you
Oh,
can
you
get a
did that?
free trip
He
to
gets to
Israel.
go there for like one time
Yeah.
to go.
You were
Yeah,
like the
Yeah.
guy that like fucking brought a grill.
Yeah. No,
Like
I
tailgating your birthright trip.
yeah.
Christian pole and everything.
I did bring I snuck edibles into Israel.
As you should.
And there was one
Hell
night in the
yeah.
desert we did a stargazing, and I timed the edible perfectly.
That's
We're just
beautiful.
doing stargazing. Everyone's got to be quiet, and someone farted, which was awesome.
Yeah.
We all heard it,
Yeah.
and no one ever admitted to it.
Oh, man. You ever been on Love on the Spectrum?
How about-
I'm just kidding.
Oh my
I
god.
love this
Let the
guy.
roast happen.
No,
Yeah.
he would tear me up in a row. Are you kidding? That's the strongest one I got right now.
Yeah,
He
what
would
was it? Was
kill
it
me.
all? Was it all the baseball talk or?
No, no, it went from.
The batting average in 1973.
I love that man. I don't care what anyone says.
I did just post a picture on my Instagram of me. One of my friends took up as you're walking through like the hallway to the
Yeah.
suites. There's all these pictures on the wall, and I'm just geeking out at all the old
Well, no, I
Yankee
can
photos.
imagine, yeah.
And I was taking, and one of my friends took a picture of me as I'm like geeking out, and I posted it. And the girl that I'm seeing now sent, "It's so cute to see you tizzing out."
But at least that's awesome. She sounds
Yeah.
like a cool girl.
Yeah, well, she
Sounds
told
like a
me,
cool
this is
You're
what
the
she-
Tasmanian devil, bro.
Yeah.
Tasmanian devil, hell yeah.
Devil from Bayside.
She said she likes when guys are passionate about things. So even if I'm into
Yeah,
something
because
she's
then you
not
make it
into,
exciting. You're not some boring
even if it,
fuck,
yeah,
you
even
know?
if it's something she's not into, I was like, wait till you're into the 3 hours into me explaining WrestleMania to
Exactly.
you. See how much you like my
Exactly.
passion.
That's where we're at with
Exactly.
society. Women just want a man to care about anything. you
Yeah.
know?
and be exciting. And
Thank you,
funny.
men out there, for setting the bar so low for me.
Killing it.
Swooping in.
Yeah.
Bitches.
I think we got to move on, but it's been awesome.
Oh,
hanging out with you,
I
dude.
could talk to Matt for hours.
I
bro.
know, dude.
Hell
Thank you guys for having
Hell
me.
yeah,
You're the
man.
fucking man. Anything you want to plug? I mean, we got the podcast
Comedy
thing. We
Fight
got the
Club.
Comedy
Do you
Fight Club
think-
Yeah.
every Sunday.
YouTube.com/Comedy Fight Club. All the shows.
Engage
and
with the
fights are on
content.
there.
They put they
Yeah.
put tons
Really
on-
funny.
Tons
On
of reels up, that sort of shit.
Instagram, we got stuff up there, and Buff Boys Podcast comes out every week also on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah, and you're circumcised, right?
And I am circumcised,
Yes.
yes.
All right.
You don't got that shotgun dick.
Dick and shirts.
Hell yeah.
Matt Maran, everybody, we love him.
See you tomorrow at school.
Hell yeah.
You are my bitch.